Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Hit subscribe every day at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time forever on this channel. Just expect morning videos. Love to share the morning with you at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time on H.A. Goodman. We're almost 204,000 subscribers, people. It's because of you, and I can't thank you enough. To my super chat, I can't thank you enough, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't done a live stream in a while, but your super chat is extremely, extremely important, and it allows me and helps me do these live streams, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to talk about the Twitter files, Biden's classified data nightmare, anything going on right now, the upcoming recession, unfortunately, the second in like 2 years, via super chat, as well as the live stream, of course, that'd be greatly appreciated. Eric, Samurai, Kristen, hello. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so very, very much. Karen, hello. Stop, listen, think. Hello, everybody here. Thank you so much. Let's get started. So, we have the Twitter files. Paul Bartlett. Thank you, Paul. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated starting it off. Paul Bartlett, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Lisa Lewis, hello. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate that very much. Let's get started. Thank you, Paul. As always, and Happy New Year to everybody. And I always I'm going to try to say this from here on out. If you're a Democrat, Republican, communist, socialist, conservative, if you're voting for Trump like I am, if you're a Trump Republican, God bless you and have an amazing 2023 and a beautiful, awesome year, a healthy, happy, joyful, prosperous 2023 and beyond. I'm going to come at everybody with a specific vantage point, but I want everyone to know that it's all love on this channel, and I just want people to, no matter where they are politically, to understand I wish them only the best and happiness and health and success and joy. Twitter files supplemental, more Adam Schiff ban requests and de-amplification. So, and Paul, thank you so very much as always, greatly appreciated. So, that is what Democrats did. They worked with government officials breaking the First Amendment and any rebuttal to try to defend this disingenuous and duplicitous behavior would lead to a disingenuous and duplicitous vantage point. Absolutely, you had Democrats working with government officials. Here, this is a government official. This is a government official. Now, Adam Schiff is a Democratic congressman. He has power. He shouldn't be using his influence to prevent speech and dialogue or satire or comedy. Staff of House Democrat Adam Schiff wrote to Twitter quite often asking the tweets be taken down, the important use of taxpayer resources involved, and ask about a parody, a photo of Joe Biden. The DNC made the same request. The DNC also has no business, at least being listened to, has no business. The DNC at least is a private entity. Interestingly enough, it's a private entity that works that apparently has a great deal of influence within the United States government. They cheated Bernie Sanders and within months then got the entire planet to blame the Kremlin for informing you that Bernie was cheated. How that happens? Well, we've seen that. We've seen how it happens. But anyway, the real issue was Donald Trump tweeting the Biden pic. To its credit, Twitter refused to remove it, with trust and safety chief saying it had obvious humorous intent. Any reasonable observer, apparently not a staffer, could see it was doctored. So, again, this is one of the rare instances where Twitter actually said, no, we're not going to do this. But there were 250,000 accounts suspended. 250,000. Where government agencies like the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Democrats pushed Twitter to suspend those accounts. Okay, if the opposite were true, if it was 250,000 Democratic Party leaning accounts or liberal accounts or progressive accounts, the outrage would be heard throughout the universe. The staffer didn't give up, claiming there was a slippery slope concern here. Twitter also refused requests for bans of content about Schiff and his staff, complete suppression, and any and all search results. Twitter said this would not be conceivable. So they basically said, oh, well, we're influencing Twitter to such a great degree. Why don't we then force them or influence them to just ban and suspend any speech regarding Adam Schiff. Okay? So this is all out in the open now. You had Democrats, and they do this with every platform. They write letters, they're very influential, and the people running the platforms are liberal anyway. So what happens is you can't talk and debate and discuss, because a consensus, a wonderful, highly educated, liberal consensus is always formed. And this is on a variety of topics. It's formed through coercion. That's how it's formed. Okay? Paul Bartlett, thank you again for your support as always. So then I told people the absurd message board in 2018. I debated that gentleman who was pushing the message board, and I said it's the dumbest thing in the world. And it'll only hurt Republicans or Trump voters or Trump Republicans. Even when Twitter didn't suspend an account, they didn't mean they didn't act. Schiff's office repeatedly complained about message board related activity that were often tweeted about other matters like the identity of. Okay, so you have a situation where media and Democrats and government officials have redefined the word whistleblower. That word means somebody who blows the whistle on illegal activity. Not, we think Trump is trying to convince another world leader to investigate Biden. Do you realize, ladies and gentlemen, that every single, whether it was Bernie Sanders being cheated or Biden being corrupt and obviously now mishandling classified data, but being corrupt with Hunter, possibly selling out the country for a whole bunch of money. Do you realize that every single scandal has been marketed as a plot by another country? That's the issue here. It's always a plot by another country to let you know how negative or how corrupt Democrats are. It's mindless. It's like a mindless response. It's like a Red Scare, McCarthy-era Pavlovian response where you start salivating, the Kremlin. We learned that the McCarthy era was a very dark chapter in the United States, in the history of the U.S. Okay? And you have to ask yourself, who created these message boards? All right? You have to ask yourself, it's probably the reason they don't want to go after the individuals who created the message boards was probably because these message boards serve them. So when I was telling people, do not, you have to understand, I lost some subs because I told people don't do that. But I don't care because I got those subs back. We're now at 204,000 subscribers. And almost 204,000. So, I've told people, ladies and gentlemen, do not listen to any absurd, stupid message board. But that was 2018. People were searching for, you had sessions, and it was terrible. The whole thing was terrible. But this is the first time where Trump actually has a government that he actually, he has more influence today in 2023 within the United States government than he ever did. When he was president. When he was president of Paul Ryan. Okay, when he was president of Paul Ryan. So, and Sessions and McConnell, and he did not have a House of Representatives. He did not have Republicans backing him. Schiff's office had concern about de-amplification. It thought it might make it harder for law enforcement to track offending tweeters. We appreciate greatly. We're curious about any de-amplification measures implemented by Twitter. We appreciate greatly could impede the ability of law enforcement to search Twitter for potential. Okay, so Then you had for more, watch Schellenberger, Barry Weiss, Li Fong, David Zweig, Alex Berenson, and others. The last journalist that I mentioned is very awesome. Very awesome. Twitter had no editorial input. Searches were carried out by third parties. Searches, so the documents could be limited. So you have to ask yourself, why do Democratic congressmen have so much influence, or Democratic congresswomen, or Democrats in the Senate? They have so much influence because Republicans, up until recently, didn't care. They were afraid. They were part of the biggest obstacle to Trump is state parties. Okay? And now we have state political parties who won't back. Total number of Biden documents known to be marked is about 20. Yeah, that's nonsense. Sources say that's nonsense. It's almost certainly more than 20. Because if you find classified documents in a garage, and then classified documents, if you find classified documents in a garage, and then classified documents in an office. No, first the office, then the garage. Okay? You have a situation where there's very likely more classified. There's very, very likely more classified data elsewhere. Okay? There's likely more classified data floating around. Okay? And you have to ask yourself, well, why is this taking place? Okay? It's taking place for a reason, and it has nothing to do with transparency. If they could have ignored all of this, they would have. Okay? So, see, this is not normal. This is not a normal type of headline. This type of thing, this is Democrats, I think Bill and Hillary, saying, okay, we can have Hillary Clinton 2024. I think she'll be the nominee in the Democratic Party. And the reason is that you have NBC News and others, about 20, 30 publications that basically publish the same thing all the time. Democratic allies grow frustrated with White House response to Biden's classified documents. Strategists, lawmakers, and even some administration officials say the Biden White House needs to do a better job of how it explained what transpired. How it explains what transpired. That makes no sense. It makes no sense because all we have seen the past 7 years, from 2016, even 2015, but from 2016 to 2023, we have only seen the same story. Trump bad, Democrats good. We have only seen the past 2 years Biden better than Trump in every way possible. We have never seen this. And I don't believe that it was just a coincidence that classified data was just, coincidentally found. I think what's taking place is there's a certain level of palace intrigue, ladies and gentlemen. Lisa, hello. I know that nobody wants to hear it, but after Fetterman won, there is no such thing as candidate quality. Fetterman won. That's all you need to know. Fetterman makes Biden sound like Laurence Olivier. So, or Richard Burton. It's kind of like, reciting a Shakespearean, role in a play. It's like there's nothing's impossible now. Absolutely nothing. The machine is what I'm trying to get to is the machine. All the different publications, all the different media outlets, government agencies, social media platforms. The machine has propped up Biden. Why in 2023 is the machine suddenly not working? Alan Harkin! Awesome, informative, and fun, and the fun, never a letdown. President Goodman, thank you so very much. Alan Harkin, thank you. Thank you, Alan. Greatly, greatly appreciated. I hope all is well. Thank you. And Happy New Year to you, Alan. I hope everybody's doing well, and everybody here, thank you so much. Alan, thank you so very, very much. 2023, Paul and Alan, it's going to be awesome. And to my super chat, I can't thank you enough. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun, people. And this is like when you play baseball, you want to hit it on the sweet spot of the bat. That's the next 2 years is what my channels, H.A. Goodman, this channel, and H.A. Goodman's other channel are made for. And then I should really start up the stock market crash channel too. I should start doing that too. But I told myself I got to build H.A. Goodman's other channel, and I'm building it, and it's doing well. It's growing. It is growing. And this channel is growing. It's because of you, Alan, and Paul Bartlett, and Eric, and everyone here, Kristen, everybody here. I just thank you so much. Alan, thank you again. And so I don't believe this doesn't make any sense to me. And here's why it doesn't make any sense to my super chat. Thank you again. Who benefits? Here, we'll do who benefits the most? Who benefits the most? Let's do a poll, ladies and gentlemen. Who benefits the most from Biden's... Oh, Lord, are you serious? From Biden's... Who benefits the most from Biden's staff informing... And mind you, these are people who had secret servers siphoning top secret intel on them for 4 years, okay? But who benefits the most from Biden's staff informing DOJ about classified data in a garage? Okay. Who benefits the most, Alan and Paul and everybody here? Who benefits the most? Stop, listen, think. Steppenwolf. Who benefits the most? I should have said in 24. God, I messed up again. It's President Trump now. Yes. But in 2024, Hillary Clinton benefits the most. She had the worst, the most comical, outlandish example of classified data being breached. I think it's Trump now, but I think ultimately Hillary Clinton benefits the most. You have there's palace intrigue, ladies and gentlemen. There are people within the Democratic Party who, when they cheated Bernie Sanders, that all took place within the Democratic Party. Okay, that was within the Democratic Party. So you have to ask yourself, what is going on right now within the Democratic Party? What's going on? Why do you think that his attorneys innocently stumbled upon this? First of all, how many attorneys do you know pack boxes? Does that make any sense? I mean, unless you're Hillary Clinton's attorneys deleting possibly classified data and trying to find out, sifting through personal records of yoga, yeah, right, and trying to find out what's classified and what's not. They made a complete mockery of it, okay? I wrote about this, by the way, on Amazon. But she'll be the nominee in 24. And sadly, she's the best candidate they have, which is absolutely hilarious. I will be proven right is eventually on the 2016. We live right now in a matrix. And it's not just like it's a machine, but it's a computer program. It's like a video game called 2016. We've all entered that video game. We have all entered, ladies and gentlemen, that video game. And we've all entered that video game, and we're stuck in it. Everything, all the dysfunction we see was from Bernie Sanders being cheated and the American political establishment, Democrats, and even very cowardly and lazy and pathetic never-Trumpers blaming Russia. They created a McCarthy-era Red Scare environment. This is the epitome of what George Orwell warned us about. I mean, do these people ever read a history book? Do they know anything about the McCarthy era? Do they know anything about the Red Scare and people accusing others of, the House Un-Americans Committee, Joseph McCarthy accusing people of being communists? And so you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where I don't think people realize that Democrats have repeated history. They have tried to repeat a very negative, a very sad and frightening moment in American history. Joseph McCarthy, even if he pointed out that perhaps there were more communist sympathizers in government than originally thought, going after George Marshall and going after innocent people and ruining the lives of certain people by accusing them of being communist. That was the McCarthy era. And eventually he, like I said, started accusing generals, and it just, he lost his ability, his political clout. Eventually just lost his Senate panel. But you look and it's like nobody even there hasn't even been a mention. There hasn't even been a mention about the McCarthy era. I mean, you see this here, Marshall and McCarthyism, America's Library.gov. Is that, I think it was the National Archives? No, it was the National Archives.org. Okay, so you have all of this Eisenhower and McCarthy, American experience. Like, you can look at this. There are courses, and you learn this in high school. This is part of American history. Well, how come you can't just look at American history and say, okay, Democrats and media and government agencies are doing exactly what was done in the 50s? And we shouldn't get back to that point. We shouldn't do that. But they just blame. They're going back at it too. You kind of see this. It's kind of hilarious. They go back and it's this well of ignorance. They just always go back to the well of ignorance. And they say, well, anybody that disagrees with us, the Kremlin wants that. Putin wants that. Well, how do you know? President Obama came in with a Russian reset. So did Putin want that? Oh, it's so interesting how Russia always just simply wants whatever they're okay with whatever Democrats want. If Democrats want a reset, they're okay with it. If Democrats want a more militant policy, they oppose that. Or no, sorry, they always coincide, or they're always the Democratic Party apparently always has exactly the right pulse of what's going on, and they're on the right side of history always. If they want détente and they want communication with our adversaries, then that's what our adversaries want. Or no, that's good. But if they don't want communication, and if they want a more belligerent attitude towards our adversaries, and the adversaries want or would rather have somebody less hawkish towards them, well, then they're influencing the country to let you know that Democrats are, cheated Bernie Sanders, or Hunter was selling the country along with Joe for money and all that stuff. That's what you know. It's the McCarthy era it's the 21st century McCarthy era. They've created this mindless response based on U.S. history and the Cold War. And these are the people who are the morally superior who talk about Trump being on the wrong side of history. They're on the wrong side of history. They don't even acknowledge historical fact and the part of history that they're trying to recreate. They came in with a reset. But this is not, I don't believe this for a second. I don't believe this for 1 second that they just coincidentally found classified. They were trying to prop this man up. They were defending this man, mashed potato brains, at every turn. And within 3 days, literally within 3 to 4 days, there's a special counsel. Garland creates a special counsel to investigate Biden. Let me ask you this. Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think there's more? You think there's more to the story than a coincidental special counsel? You think there's more of the story of here, I guess it was a rhetorical question, but do you think there's more to the story of a coincidental special counsel formed within 3 days? So 4 days ago, if somebody told you there'd be a special counsel, Merrick Garland would impanel or create a special counsel to investigate Biden, what would you say? What would you say to that? Does that make any sense at all? Does that make any sense at all, ladies and gentlemen? Do you realize when did that story break? Friday? Within 4 days or so, Monday? When did the story break? I can tell you right here. I have it on my phone here. Okay, so So that was January 10th. So Monday or Tuesday. Okay? Does that make any sense at all? I mean, I don't think it makes any sense at all. Do I know without a shadow of a doubt? Obviously, there's no way to know. There's obviously no way to know, ladies and gentlemen, if Bill and Hillary Clinton are behind anything. Okay? But there's very likely a lot more going on. So there's very, very likely a lot more going on. Exactly. Stop, listen, think. Exactly. So if you look, Love Trucks, hello. If you look at, here, we can look at this. I mean, Democrats going, here, Democratic allies are voicing frustration. Calling the administration to be more forthcoming in handling the issue. This, too, makes no sense. The uproar. Some Democrats are now suggesting that he wait and let controversy wane before launching a re-election bid. And that's what this is about. This is about getting him, knocking him politically out of 24. Tony, exactly. Exactly, Arlene. Barbie, hello. Hope all is well. Happy New Year to you, Barbie. E, hello. Happy New Year, Barbie. You know, that's what this is about. And then Lanny Davis, who's a close associate of the Clintons, he's got to say, I messed up and I apologize. Laura, with wisdom and hindsight, it's not too late for Biden to own up to his mishandling. Own it! Again, this is not a coincidence. This person, along with the apparatus around Clinton, is paving the way for 24. I know that I've been saying that since the Hoover administration. I understand that I've been saying this since Caesar was crowned emperor. I understand that I've been saying this since the dawn of time. I get it. I always say it. I know. That's fine. I understand. But it's going to happen. That's why you got to watch this channel, people. I'm telling you. And you have to ask, well, who benefits from this? Who benefits from this? Angie, hello. You have to ask. Barbie, thank you. You have to ask, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. Peter and Ann. Exactly. There's way more to this story, and the issue here is who benefits. That's all. When you have Clinton operatives or people who work with the Clintons who are close to them, they have been in this business. The Clintons have been in this business since the 80s. Bill Clinton, governor of Arkansas, from like 85 to 86, 87, I forget, in the late 80s, middle to late 80s. They've been doing this. They understand exactly how to manipulate and influence media. They know exactly how to influence media. This is not a traditional headline that you would see. Democratic allies grow frustrated. When on earth was the last time you had any... have you ever seen a headline the past 2 years with Democrats upset with Biden for any reason at all? Whether it was the completely botching the Doha agreement, or inflation, or a recession, or an endless quagmire in Europe, they haven't brought up any of his failures. The southern geographic region of our country. Of course, I'm speaking in a long-winded manner because the algorithm is always with us. So you have a situation, people, where I wouldn't doubt they turn up the political heat on Biden. I wouldn't doubt that special counsel finds a lot more information than, normally people say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. Well, I think that they're willing to just toss aside Biden, make him not a viable candidate because of how corrupt he is. The man is corrupt. We know this from the New York Post reporting. Extremely corrupt. Infinitely more than anything they've leveled against Trump. You can find felonies with Biden and Hunter for sure. You can't find any felonies with Trump. You've investigated and they despise him. They haven't investigated Biden and they're propping him up. They don't despise him. There's a difference. There's a difference. Exactly, DR, exactly. So you got to ask yourself, well, why is this happening? Why is this happening and who benefits? I don't believe that, I just do not believe that this is a coincidence. I don't think that on Monday morning, Joe Biden has a special counsel and the media is talking about how Trump one day will be indicted on classified records at Mar-a-Lago, even though he declassified everything. As a former president, he had the power to do so. So I don't believe, that Monday we wake up in this country and it's business as usual. Trump is the embodiment of all criminality. And old Grandpa Uncle Joe is just a good person. He's a moral person. He's a good person. And then suddenly, classified... Listen to how fast this was. Bill and Hillary must have a lot of clout. Listen to how fast this was. One... Attorneys coincidentally find classified data in an office. And then the next day they find it in his garage, man. Where I drive my Corvette, man. Hey, come on, man. Have some ice cream in my Corvette, man. Hey, chicks dig the ice cream in the Corvette, man. I love Corvettes, by the older Corvettes. And then a special counsel within 3 days. Do you think that's rational or normal or likely? Do you think maybe the Clintons had something to do with it? Then you have Lanny Davis, and I'm sure you'll probably have Debbie Wasserman Schultz coming. I just don't think that Biden's really a nice person anymore. And then you'll see like all you'll see like all the anonymous sources. Now you'll see sources say. It's such a absurd racket and template. Like, it's just a template. All they have to do is say sources say, and it's a source tied to the Clintons. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is when people don't understand the dynamics of power within the Democratic Party. Angie, hello. They don't understand the power dynamics within the, Obama-era White House counsel will represent Biden. That should be fun. I guess they have a good track record in representing people with private servers. I don't know, maybe that's not. Yes, exactly. This is good. Seeing how the White House missteps exacerbated by unclassified documents headache. They got the template. Sorry, they got the template. I'll do a segment on this tonight after this. So to check out there'll be an upload of video right before midnight. So we'll go about 10, 15 more minutes here, and then check the channel right before midnight Pacific time, and I'll do a segment on CNN turning. CNN turns on Biden. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm just going to repeat myself in the most annoying manner possible. That's why God bless you all for having to deal with, I don't know how many years you've been watching me, but 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every day, people. Let me ask you a question. Does let's see, hold on one second. And this is a serious question, so you don't have to be nice and just say, oh, yes, just say, do the 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific Let me ask you this. Do the 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time videos every day help you or add to the channel? Do you watch them? Because I'm really, really trying to build this, I want people to just know that 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every day. I want people to know that. Eric, thank you. Eric Samurai, thank you. Stop, listen, think, thank you. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to head on out. I will do another segment. I will do another segment tonight, so be here for that segment later this evening. And I will do another segment tonight within an hour or so. So check the channel in about 1 hour. And thanks, everybody. Thank you to my super chat, Paul and Alan. Thank you so much. I should have a live stream earlier tomorrow. So be here for the live stream earlier tomorrow, everybody. And I will see you in about 1 hour, people. Just be here at 1 hour on this channel. And definitely tomorrow at 8 a.m. and also at 11 a.m. Pacific every single day. Alan, Paul, to my super chat, thank you so very, very much. It was wonderful speaking with you all. I'm going to try to do more live streams from here on out. I'll definitely do one tomorrow, probably around, I would say, about 6 or